Hello and welcome into the next build. Here we are with another build, high-end build, and it's taking me a little longer to prep for this than I thought. But here we are, just getting ready to get started. And welcome back everybody who joined me in my last live broadcast a few minutes ago. And I need to get a drink because I am dying over here. Okay, let me tell you what I'm building. This is going to be an Intel Core i7-8086k. It's a limited edition processor. It's going to be paired with a Corsair RM850X power supply. I'm going to be using ADATA's XPG RAM. I've got 2 sticks of 8 for a total of 16 gigs. This is DDR4 2400 speed. I'm going to be using a 480 gig, it's flying around, 480 gig ADATA SSD NVMe drive, and we're going to put this really cool XPG cooler on there, even though there's no case window. I just want to use it because it looks cool. And for a cooler, I'm going to use the MasterLiquid Maker 92 because I'm curious how well it's going to cool that 8086K. We've got just a regular old DVD drive from Asus that's not branded, and the MSI Z370 Gaming Pro Carbon. No graphics card at this point. Just going to be running onboard video from the GPU. And if you're interested in purchasing the system from me, you can send me an email and it will be available for sale. If you want a different case, if you want a graphics card, we can make all that happen. Just reach out to me at my email address, which is, you can either hit the About, Carey Holzman on my YouTube page, or you can go to tech-vets.com to locate my email. But basically it's just Carey, C-A-R-E-Y, at tech, T-E-C-H-vets, V-E-T-S.com. TechVets is short for Veterans of Technology, and that's how you can reach me. If you're asking for support, if you've got questions that deal with some personal issue you're having, please do not abuse my email address for that. I don't have time. If you're interested in providing or doing business with me, then please do not hesitate to reach out and email me for any business-related inquiries, okay? Thank you very much. Sam Kowalski says hello from Glendale, Arizona. We got a fellow Glendale, Arizona person joining us. It's not just me. Can we get a parts list in the video description? Sure, you want me to pause this and come back in an hour when I get that done? I'll tell you what. After the video's done, I can list the parts out. It'll be another, seriously, it takes 15 to 20 minutes to put that together. So I'll do that after the fact. But in the meantime, you can use Google and you can search these parts by name. But I always put a parts list together at the very end of it, just so, you know, I make money from the Amazon links. So if I don't put the parts list in, I'm losing out on free money, basically. So it'll be put in there after the video's done and I have time. Otherwise, I won't be able to get this done until tomorrow. Oh, that's good. Now, I'm not doing anything fancy for the case. It's just a simple Corsair 200R. It gets the job done. We're not here to impress people with aesthetics. We're here to impress people with performance, reliability, and just sheer outrageousness. It's a sleeper. Let's start prepping the case. First thing I do is get these side panels off of here. Another way you can reach me is by using the donate button. There's a donate button at tech-vets.com in the upper right corner of the website, or you can use the donate button listed in the video description below this video, and I will send you a message saying thank you, and then you've got my direct email address and attention if there's something you want from me. So that's some people say, I don't know how to get a hold of you. Make a donation. Any donation of any amount, and you will have gotten a hold of me and I will respond with a thank you. That's just how easy it is. But people who just want to take and take and take for free, I'm sorry, The videos are free. I hope you enjoy them, but anything beyond that, you'll have to give me something if you want more from me. Just because I'm very busy, not because of any other reason. So let's get this all prepped out here. Port umbilicals. Just tuck that fan in there for now. We'll deal with that later. Let's get the optical drive in there just to get that out of the way. That's installed. And then the power supply can be installed next, so let's do that. That's a huge manual that no one's ever gonna read. And a little more power cable, zip ties and screws, and a Corsair metal case badge, silica gel, oh look, a velvet bag. How much did I pay for this thing I didn't want? Ta-da! Butamus. Let's go put that right over here. Set it in with the fan facing down under the lip, shove it back, slide it back, and secure it in place with the screws. These are our power cables here, and then the rest of this box is empty, and that can go right over there. I don't need any of these cables just yet. And this is going to be in my way. Let's move this back here. And let's move this stuff back here for now. What else? That's an empty box. Let's grab the screws that came with the power supply. And we're going to use those to secure the power supply. $499 people watching. We're just one shy from 500. See what a difference one person can make. All right, let's go ahead and slap this bad boy in here real quick like. You know, if there's anything you should take from my videos, it's like you don't have to be a nerd to build a computer. You don't have to be a nerd to enjoy computers. You don't have to talk like a nerd. You don't have to act like a nerd. You can just be a regular old person and understand and appreciate and participate in what all these nerds are doing. It's no longer the realm of nerds, and that kind of bothers a lot of nerds. They don't like that, but that's their problem. All right. Not that I'm not a nerd, but I'm not as nerdy as some people I know, and I say that with disdain. Because I've met a lot of nerds that are just socially, they need help. So don't let that dissuade you from entering into this field or playing around in this field, because it's really not that difficult. And those nerds aren't as smart as they make you out. They'll let you believe that they're smarter than you, but chances are you're probably a lot smarter than them. But anyway, probably talking about half of my audience poorly, but that's okay. Not all nerds are the same, but I just don't like stereotypes of any kind. Just don't be a stereotype. All right, there's that. That can go there. These cables can go back here. And let's get this motherboard open. Let's see what we've got in here. So this is a big day for me to use MSI, you know, big day. I'll move that here. Got the I/O shield, that's what I'm digging for. And let's get that put into the case right now. I like that it's got a foil backing to it. That's really cool. Holes for the speakers are going to go down. Ooh, I like that it's black too. It's going to match the case. We're going to pop this bad boy right in there like this. I/O shield's in. And the motherboard is, the case is prepped, so let's move this out of the way. And now we can prep the motherboard. That can go over there. RGB lighting stuff, which I don't care about. What is this? Oh, SLI bridge. These are labels for your cables that are on your tables. Another piece of cardboard. Quick installation guide. Motherboard manual. Driver DVD. There's probably another little badge in here somewhere. Another go faster. Thank you for choosing a MSI product. We hope you enjoy it. Please register your products. Yeah, well, you and I both hope I enjoy it. Let's hope I'm not making an error in judgment. Where are my SATA cables? Ah, these are the SATA cables. You only get 2. All right. Let's get the motherboard out of here. I don't know why they tape it closed. I don't know where they think it's going to go. Oh, you know what? This already has a heat shield on it. It's got an M2 shield built into the board, so I guess I won't be using that ADATA cooler on this build. I'll save it for another build. Here's a nice close-up of the board for you. This is the MSI Gaming Pro motherboard. Pretty good looking board. So far, so good. Let's put that up here. How about if I get that overhead camera back out, huh? Jim Rose has contributed $1. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate your contribution. Where is, did I miss a contribution? Ramsey Elmawardy has contributed $2. Elmawardy, just to help you out. That's funny. He knew I was going to have problems, or I've had problems in the past. Thank you, Elmawardy. Have I missed anybody who's contributed? I want to give everybody who's contributed a shout out. I think that's just those two, Ramsey and Jim Rose. Yeah. Yep. All right, let's try and get this overhead camera hooked up. This thing is so wonky. It just wants to fall and get hung up against the wall and everything on the floor and cables. Well, these panels are going to get in my way, so I need to relocate these panels. Put them back here. All right, we want to turn this way, get us as close as we can to this table. Bring this around like so. Yeah, this is definitely going to have to be taller. Well, let's see what we get. This worked okay last time. And I need an HDMI cable to go from the camera to the capture card. Is this one cable? That's a long cable. And that's going to go, let's see, input number 2. And then we'll take this end, and that's going to go, where does this go? It goes in here. Just like this. Just like, what the heck? Am I putting it in backwards or what? Yep. You know what? Let's see if we can't clean this cable up just a little bit. Let's wrap it around. Like so. That's cleaner. Much cleaner. Let's give the camera some juice and open the lens. All right. I have no idea what the camera's pointing itself at. Let's see here. Let's go to the close-up. Ooh, look at that. Which way do I need to go? This way? I love it when a plan comes together. How about both me and that? Ah, there we go. There we go. Now, let's do the CPU first. This is the Intel Core i7-8086k. This is a limited edition processor celebrating the 40th anniversary of the 8086 chip, the original Intel chip in the IBM PC that we all use today. It all started here with this, with the chip that this is honoring, the 8086. This is the first consumer-based chip to hit 5 gigahertz, even if it only hits 5 gigahertz on one core. I wish MSI would pay me some money, but no, I had to buy all these parts with my own money. Even the ADATA RAM I supplied myself. So, that's the box that comes in. We're done with that. Yeah, there's no sponsorships on this channel. I wish there was. Maybe I will get that way someday. Until now, I rely on your contributions and your submissions to keep me operational, because the YouTube money, as you all, if you watch my channel regularly, you know, every one of you is worth about 7/1000ths of a penny every 30 days. That's how much I make from you. So if you think you're doing me a favor by watching my videos, yes, I am able to make 7/1000ths of a penny every 30 days because you subscribe to me. So if you think that that's really beneficial to me, you understand why I have to have contributions or sponsorships. So that's the reality of it. There's no sponsorships here, not yet, but I hope to get there with a reputable sponsor very soon in order to keep production quality up and be able to produce more content. Irving T says, simple word for you. Thanks, Carrie. That's nice, Irving. Thank you. He's contributed €5. I appreciate it. Irving's a great supporter. You don't need to wear an anti-static wristband if you handle the parts like I show you. One of the reasons I work in a kitchen is it's a naturally anti-static environment. And as long as you handle parts by the edges and you don't conduct you don't touch anything metal, then even if you have a static charge, there's no place for it to go. Remember, your imagination without education is very dangerous. You don't know what you don't know, and that makes you a very dangerous person if you're doling out advice or warning people about something based on your fear. Education resolves most fear, and that's what I'm here to do, is educate you. Notice very carefully, take notice on how I handle every part. If you handle the parts the way I do, you have no concern over electrostatic discharge. However, you can wear an anti-static strap if you so choose. It certainly won't hurt anything, but if you learn how to handle the parts properly, as somebody who's been building computers for nearly 30 years, there's no way I could sustain a business if what I did didn't work, okay? And it doesn't matter to me if you believe me or you don't. It makes no impact in my life. I don't make money from you, and I don't have to support you. All right, so let's open this up, and let's get our CPU put in there. Pay close attention to how I handle every part. CPU is in. Let's get the RAM. We want to do RAM with a cooler. Let's do the M.2. Yeah, let's do that. Looks like there's a screw there. Let's take that out. Christoph Esch has contributed 10 euros. He says, hello from Germany. Good video. Thanks, Carrie. Well, thank you, Christoph. I gotta tell you something. You guys, I love you guys. You know, I have two different kinds of viewers. I got the one viewers who just want to take and criticize and challenge me and take and complain. And I have the other viewers who really appreciate the quality, well, not the quality. They appreciate the information that I'm giving you, that I'm sharing 30 years of real world experience. I'm not some tech enthusiast with 1 million subscribers doing unpractical things that no employer would ever pay you to do. I'm showing real work that I'm held accountable for, and I think it's a big niche in YouTube that's missing. You know, it's one thing to like technology, it's another to be held accountable and responsible for building for other people and businesses. And I really am working hard to make sure people understand that difference. There's nothing wrong with those other YouTube channels as long as you understand the difference. So this had to push back to come off. I don't know if you've noticed that. If I had read the instruction manual, that probably would have been pretty clear to me. And the little standoff came off with it. Jeez, so I gotta get some needle nose pliers on that. Gotta get it somewhere. There we go. Wise Pharaoh 7's contributed $1.99. Thank you, Wise Pharaoh. I appreciate your support. HipTech says authenticity and experience is what you're trying to say, right? Yeah, sure. Okay. Words are hard. ZGrid2 has contributed 25 Polish, what is that? What's the PLN? What's that currency called? Thank you for your contribution, ZGrid. It's awesome that people in Poland are watching. I'm not here to put down any YouTuber. Anybody who likes technology is good in my book. I just want to make sure you guys understand the difference between entertainment and education, because the line is really blurred here on YouTube. It's really blurred. But as long as you understand what you're watching in the right context, it's all good. And I need 3 hands to do this. Come on now. Why'd MSI got to design that like that? I'm giving you another chance, and this is how we start, you and I? Really? This is how it begins? I can't even turn that. It won't turn. This is from the factory. What did they think they were tightening down? All right, I got it. There's no reason that needed to be that tight. No reason at all. This is a 22 millimeter by 80 millimeter M.2 SSD NVMe. That's the most common size, which means it's probably going to go right there. Usually they're labeled really well. The MSI board doesn't seem to label it well at all, so there's another ding to MSI for that. I'm sure it's documented in the manual. We have a thermal tape here and a washer that goes underneath. It's interesting. Why is the washer connected to the tape? It's actually glued to the tape. Why? Why was that glued? You know this tape has to come off, right? That's weird. See, MSI does some weird stuff. Not enough for me to say I'm rejecting it, but I just don't know why they have to do that. Missed a contribution here. What do I have? Soren Rasmussen has contributed 50 Danish kroner. He says, thank you. Hi, enjoying your videos while trying to recover from a surgery. Well, gosh, Soren, I hope your recovery goes well. And I hope I can keep you entertained as you recover. Being in a hospital room sucks. All right, what I'm doing here is I'm getting the ADATA drive out. This is a 480 gig ADATA XPG NVMe SSD. Did you understand all that? Now would you explain it to me? This is the side that's going to have the heat sink, and that's where the notch is going to line up with the socket. I'm just going to line that up, and you see it just kind of goes like that. And then we're going to take this heat shield, and this goes on this way, like so. Seems like a very strange design. It's like it lifts up. It's like on a hinge, I guess. There's little notches. There's like a groove there, and it looks like that slides in. But I can't see it. And I just put my fingers on that, which is not ideal. Let me get some light on the subject here. I feel like I'm getting one side and not the other. It's just a little nub. That's all there is. It's not much. Oh, I see. Or do I? How is that supposed to go on? If I put it on there, then that lines up correctly, but then what happens here? Do we just ignore that? Strange. That would go on like that, and then they would want that little washer that I had fitting between them, I guess. It seems to me that they want that washer right there. But if I do that, isn't it going to interfere? No, it's not. I don't think. Yeah, it's that little washer's hitting the chip and it's not letting the heatsink sit flush. So I'm not exactly sure why that's there. Maybe it's glued on because they want you to peel it off, but then why did they put it on to begin with? I'd say let's build without it. And then we have this opening right here, which bothers me. I'll get over it though. So it's kind of hard to put this heatsink on because you can't see. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? I'm trying to find that. That hole right there. And then the screw that came out it's a different looking M.2 because it's got a shoulder on it. If I can find the camera. There it is. All right, so that's going to go down in there. And then we can lock it down. Seem to be lined up correctly. Nothing like jamming a screw down on your NVMe drive. I mean, it's all the way in. That's lined up right. Well, this heat shield sucks. Hey, MSI, your heat shield sucks. All right, there, I finally got it lined up. Should not be this difficult. None of the other heat shields I've used on M.2s were this difficult to put on. I'm just an MSI hater, aren't I? Well, as long as the board is good, I can forgive all this. Why does that screw look crooked? It is crooked. Not acceptable. Mediocre. Much better. All right. The reason I bought this board is Maximum PC Magazine recently reviewed it and gave it a really good rating, and I trust those guys. And despite my better judgment, I said, you know what, I'm going to just try and open my mind a little bit, not be so closed-minded about it, and give her a shot. Now, this little washer, you know, maybe they want you to use it. I'm not using it. And then the XPG SSD from ADATA comes with its own little heat shield. It's a very thin little heat shield. It's not a heat spreader. I'm sure it doesn't make that big of a difference in cooling. You can use it on any SSD. You don't have to use it for ADATA. So we'll keep that, find another home for it. They're saying the screw in the NVMe drive is normal and use the screw to secure the heat shield. Use the screw to secure the heat shield where? I don't recall the motherboard box having any additional screws in it, so I don't know where I'm supposed to, or how I'm supposed to secure that. But let's take another look in the box. Let's just see if I've missed anything. No screws. No screws, no screws, no screws, no screws, nothing. What do the instructions say? Gosh darn it, I'm going to have to read the instructions. Look what you're making me do. Okay, RAM, SLI bridge, SSD right there. To install the shield, we provide engine to help dissipate heat away from the M.2. Before installing the module for the first time, you need to remove the screw from the cover and remove the protective film and the round rubber from the thermal pad. If you don't need the M2 shield, you can remove it. Okay, but what holds the M2 shield down? Nothing. Remove the screw, remove the base, put the base in the right hole, put the screw in the notch, tighten it down. If you want to use the M2, before installing the M2 module for the first time, you need to remove the screw, lift the cover, and remove the protective film. So there's, no, I've done it correctly according to these directions. Unless you guys are understanding this differently than me, it appears that there is no additional screw for separating the M.2 drive from the shield. Randy Kendricks contributed $10. He says, hi from Colorado, Carrie. Hi, Randy, thank you. So, yeah, that's all right. It's all good. If everything was the same, life would be boring. It's a new experience, and that's why I bought it. I bought it to have a new experience, so I got what I asked for. All right. We'll keep the manual out. I might be needing that later. I've used MSI 10 years ago. And I've worked on them, you know, for customers that bring systems to me that use them. But I haven't built with MSI in probably 10 or 15 years. This cooler is a pain in the butt to install, but I hope it's worth it. I've shown this cooler before. Let me go to the main camera here so you guys can get a better look at what I'm doing, what I'm talking about. And I keep making the same error there. Okay. So I've used this in the past. This is the Cooler Master MasterLiquid Maker 92, and it's an all-in-one radiator heatsink fan that's really not much bigger than a normal air cooler. And I'm kind of curious if it's going to cool down the 8086k okay. I've got a lot of these. I bought 10 of these bad boys. So I want to start using them. Was MSI the one that caught fire? No, that was ASRock. ASRock. So this is the cooler, and the radiator is sandwiched right between the two fans. And you can sit in a horizontal mode like this, or you can twist it and have it sit flat like that. Either way, you know, depending on your case that you're using. If your case has got a height issue, you can set it this way. Javier Gonzalez contributed $5. He says, from Subaru engines to computers, I've learned much from watching your videos. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, Kerry. Thank you, Javier. I really appreciate that. Yeah, this is really easy to install on a socket 2011 board, but on a socket 1151, it's a little bit of a challenge because these hoses right here get in the way of these two, where am I? These two screws right here. These lines make it difficult to get a screwdriver in there. Now you can take these 4 screws out and pull this fan off. I try not to do that. With enough patience, you can get it on there. It's a really neat cooler. I almost said it was a cool cooler. And so far, its performance on what I've used it on has been spectacular. When you have a case like the Xenos case you guys have been asking me about, they say there's no liquid cooler that fits in that. They're wrong. This liquid cooler fits in there just fine. So yeah, I've got about 9 of these. If anybody wants to buy one, again, my email address is in the About page on YouTube, or you can reach out to me at car-ey-lyst.com. Only if you want to do business with me. If you just want advice or questions, I don't do that. I don't have time. You can go to techguy.org for all the free tech support that you can eat. All right, so I'm going to need some thermal compound. Did they give me any thermal compound in here? That's a box. Nothing else in this box. Ah, here we go. We got our instructions. We got our back plate. Now, here's the way this works. Very similar to other coolers. We've got the end caps that are going to go hold this thing down, and we've got our standoffs. We've got our thermal compound, and we got this funky little mounting system. Again, Asetek owns the copyright on a lot of these liquid cooler designs, and so anytime a manufacturer is similar in design, Asetek sues them. So you either pay Asetek their royalty, or you come up with your own design. That's what this is. It's a little funky, but it gets the job done, albeit it's a little funky, but you only have to do it once. For each machine you build. Warranty information, I don't care. Here's our documentation. Okay, so I'll explain why this is funky. What you need to do is you take the back plate out. Remember, one side of the back plate is used for AMD, and the other side of the back plate is used for Intel. So figure out, do you use this side or do you use this side? And the way you can tell, right here we're doing Intel, and the instructions tell us. Again, I don't know why step 2 is to apply your thermal compound. That should be much further along the line, so we're skipping that. So to mount on the Intel side, oh, well, they've made it real easy. This side says Intel etched right on there. And I bet you this side says AMD. It does. Now, does this face out or does it go towards the motherboard? faces outward, according to the instructions. The word Intel is facing, pointing right there. It's facing out. And then they want us to use these weird looking screws that are mostly shoulder. You can see that. I'm going to use 4 of these. And those are being held in place by these little plastic clips. Basically, the screw is going to be held in, not with a bolt, because then you'd have to pay Asus. But you see there's a little notch in there, and the screw is going to slide in that and lock that screw down and hold it in position. That's why I say it's a little funky. I've never seen a cooler design mounting mechanism like that before. You can see the other side. So anyway, here's how this works. If I can get everything together, that's what I need for right now. So with the Intel words facing us, you take the screw and put it in there, and then you throw it on the floor. You can actually skip that step if you want to. It's just something I like to do. Okay, so let's put that through the hole. Oh, that's AMD. We want to be on Intel. We're going to go into the long slot here. Not wrong, long. Face this little clip with the opening facing down, and you're going to slide that right over. You got to figure out the screw position, which is what for socket 1150? Did they explain it? It shows it going all the way to the outside edge. I'm all the way on the inside edge. This is so weird. Okay, that's got it all the way to the outside. But I'm curious, let me put one on the opposite corner just to test fit it. It just doesn't seem right that it should be that far outward. I don't want to go to that corner. Let me go to the opposite corner. And then I can test fit it and see if that's right. So we're going to go like this. Like this right here. We'll put that there and lock it down. So you see how that's holding the screw in position? That little plastic clip. It's a very strange mounting way. All right. Let me go back to this camera so you can see what I'm doing. Maybe I can see what I'm doing too. Wouldn't that be novel? Will this line up? I'll be darned, it lines up. Okay, so let's put the other two on. So once again, giving you a different view, different angle. Put the screw in and make sure this, so you see the screw can slide back and forth. And the instructions are saying you want it on the closest to the edge here. Taking another closer look at this cap, you'll see one side of it has a groove cut out of it, and the other side is solid. That's the side that, the solid side has actually got a little clip on it that holds that screw in position. And you need to sort of, I don't know, hold that screw down and don't let it move until you lock this clip over it. Like so. It's really not that difficult. I think if I installed about 5 or 6 of these, I could do it without thinking, but it's so weird and different. Kind of slow at it as I find the rhythm. There we go. That's it. Now we can turn the board over here, and we can put this in line it up with the holes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What'd I do wrong? Is everything, I think this, no? Is everything on the edge? This one isn't, this one's not right. Okay. Make sure all the screws are all the way at the edge. You can push on them. I just heard 2 of them snap, which means they locked in. Let's try this again. Other side of the board. One there. Oh, it can't be right. It's too, the stance is too wide. It's too wide. So I think these screws have to go on the inside. That's what I think. You see how that mechanism can be pushed forward even more, all the way down. So push these all the way in. Not sure why that one's not going all the way. There it goes. And this one, see how much further it can go? The plastic is almost touching that edge versus that side. And that's to fit different socket sizes. There. Did you hear it? You want to bet it's going to fit now? It still doesn't fit. Now it's too narrow. It's awfully close. I don't know, maybe it'll fit. Let's see. That is an awfully tight fit. You just bend the heck out of the board. So normally on these socket 1151 boards, the middle position, not the outside, not the inside, but on other coolers, like the Hyper 212 that I showed the other day, you always put the screw in the middle. I don't know if this has an option for that, but it seems like that's just too darn tight. I can back that off a little bit. Put it in the middle. So it does kind of click a little bit. If you listen, that puts it in the middle. That's a very difficult position to find on this. But when you get it right, it should just fit like a glove. You shouldn't have to fight with it. You shouldn't have to force anything. If you're forcing something, like you saw me bending the screws to kind of line it up, then you're probably doing it wrong, as I was. Now we can put our thermal compound on there. And we've got these screws that will secure it. So I'm going to need a driver for that. Let me get a piece of tape. There are a lot of very strange people on the internet that have an unhealthy relationship with thermal compound. But here's what I can tell you from an objective view of thermal compound. It's important that you use thermal compound. How you use it, what kind you use, and how you apply it really doesn't matter. Just don't use too little, don't use too much. I'm going to grab a piece of cellophane or scotch tape, put it on the end of my finger, and I'm going to use that to paint the top of the CPU with a nice thin coating like this. Make sure you get the whole surface of the CPU covered. You should not be able to see through it. You should not be able to read the CPU. Good, solid coating of thermal compound. You'll see that's all I used out of that tube. There's enough in that tube to put this on at least 4 times. I'd say there's 2 or 3 more applications maybe 4 more applications of thermal compound. I'll just say, just to be safe, let's say there's 2 more for sure, and possibly a 3rd, possibly a 4th, depending on how much you use. I've been building computers for 30 years, almost 30 years. So when I tell you something, this is how I've sustained a business for this long. If you don't want to listen, I don't care. This has a plastic piece that's very, very important. You've got to pull this plastic off of here. It's there to keep this surface free from contamination, including the oils on your skin, dust, and debris. So it's kept to keep that as clean as possible. So our conductivity between the thermal compound and the 2 surfaces is optimized so that you give it the best cooling possible. And when I put this on, I can put it on several different directions. Looking to see where the power cable comes out from. Looks like I'll be attaching a power cable there, which means basically this Cooler Master logo lights up. So if I were to flip this down, it's going to go which way? It's going to go towards me, where you wouldn't see the logo. So maybe I should put it on this way. Yeah. We just set that right on top. Mm-hmm. Stay. Be good. Hey, it's an all-in-one liquid cooler, man. Radiator and everything's in there. How awesome is that? Well, you know what? This screwdriver is not going to fit in there. I guess I got to use a straight edge. Yep, straight edge it is. Start this one. So these 2 are super easy, right? Super easy to lock that one down. Give you a better view. You can lock this one down. Don't tighten them down, just get them started. But these over here, these have these hoses in the way. So you're probably not going to get a very good view here, but I'm going to just put that right in there like so. Easy, easy. And then we'll do the other side right over here. Same deal, got to get that hose out of the way. Oh, dropped it. Where'd it go? There it is. I need a magnet. Get that out of there. Got it. Let's try this again. Like so. Look at that. Yep. And then when you tighten this down, you want to go on opposite corners. So I'm just getting these started a little bit. And you can start at any corner you want to start at. For me, I'm going to go here first because it's just easy to get to. Get that one tightened down. We'll go to the opposite corner here. And we're going to tighten this one down. Right here. And like I say, you can see I've got to get the screwdriver on a bit of an angle. It's a little tricky. Almost impossible to do this when the motherboard's in the case. You definitely don't want to have your RAM in right now because it'd be too easy for you to hit your RAM. So don't worry about that. And then that's why this is a little important you consider your build order here. There's not a whole lot you're going to be able to do if your RAM is too tall. It's common with any cooler, any third-party cooler. You can have height issues. I think we're going to be okay here, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. For right now, we just want to make sure we secure the cooler. Try to avoid, you know, this is such a hard angle to get to. Again, this heat pipe, or this cooling pipe, is really in the way. I just can't get a good angle. All right, that's tight. Let me just double check that one to make sure this one's tight. That's good. Let's make sure this one's tight. That is tight. And then finally, this last one ought to be fun. Or did I get this one already? It feels tight. I think we're good. And so as you can see, if you bend these pipes around, we can lay that cooler flat, or we can raise it up. Either way. But the pipes do kind of get in the way of it. You have to sort of pull the pipe away, or the hose, and then bend it up. It's a really neat cooler, really neat. And we've got pretty good RAM clearance there as well, as you can see, looking at the board. Really good clarity there. Lots of clearance. In fact, let's check it. Let's make sure. Not sure which of these sockets to use first. Usually you use the one closest to the CPU and then you skip one. Let's see what the motherboard manual says. RAM it. So on the RAM, they're saying if you have 2 sticks of RAM, it wants it in A2 and B2 first. A2 and B2. Sooner or later, it's going to find it. A2 and B2. And on the board here, it should specify A2 and B2, which it does, which means it wants us to use the opposite of what I said. Thank you, MSI. Thank you for that. No, really, thanks. So here I've got the ADATA XPG RAM. This is what I'll be using for this build. 2 sticks of 8. It's in there. We got words and stuff inside this box. I guess you're supposed to go in there and read that. I don't know how. Weird. That's just weird. Everything on this build is black. The cooler's black. The RAM is black. Black is beautiful, baby. Focus. All right. Line it in the track. Yeah, you can see with that pipe, you can adjust this pipe. And if we wanted to use this socket closest to the CPU, just to alleviate any anxiety you guys might have, you would line it up. You know, let's say we had 4 sticks of RAM. That'll fit right in there. No problem. So, we're not using that socket though. So we're going to use this socket first. make sure it's in the track. Using your thumbs, push down one side, then the other side. And then we have this one last track right here. Line it up in the track. Push down one side and the other side. And we've prepped our motherboard. That's how easy that was. Let me go back to my main camera. There we go. All right, guys. So that's motherboard prep, already done. Did you blink? You might have missed it. Everything's happening quick over here. I'll just set this with the other boxes. And then we're going to need to apply power to the water pump. And so they've included this cable. And basically, you put this on your fan header for your CPU fan. And you hook this up to a SATA power on your power supply. And then this end plugs into the pump. And that's it. That's all the cabling there is for that pump. We don't need the directions anymore. These additional standoffs, these are for socket 2011. Like I say, on socket 2011, super easy to install. Super easy. The worst part of it is the putting those screws on with those little caps. It's very strange. And then, of course, if we want to, we can take this cooler, if we want to sort of make it look like any other cooler, we can just rotate that. If you don't like that look, if you prefer it made, you know, you wanted more of that stock look, you can just do it like that. Huh? What do you think of that? How you like them apples? Apple. Done with the thermal compound, I'm done with that box, I'm done with this, I'm done with this, I'm done with this, I'm done with this. Let me put my tape away. Phew, I'm thirsty. Yeah, I got about 9 more of these MasterLiquid Maker 92s. If anybody wants to buy one, you let me know, especially if you're local in Arizona, because shipping on that, it's kind of heavy. Both of the fans are in whatever direction one spins, the other one spins, so they're in a push-pull config. So it doesn't matter what orientation that the CPU sits on, the CPU fan sits on. It's going to cool adequately, exactly the same, no matter position. Yeah, it's a pretty neat cooler. I can't believe it didn't get more attention when it was released about a year ago. They made a big deal about it, marketing-wise. And then I guess people just didn't, you know, YouTubers and other press stuff just didn't pick up on it for whatever reason. Of course, we've got a second M.2 slot here on this board as well that I could have used if I wanted to. Right here is a second one, but it doesn't have the shield, right? If you guys can see that. So you can have 2 M.2s in here. They're both, I believe, are NVMe. I believe so. Let me just check the instructions so I'm not a liar. I'm pretty sure on a board of this caliber, maybe just best if I look at the specs. Intel Optane memory ready for all M.2, and it supports PCIe 3.0x4 and SATA, both of them. And it's got 6 regular SATA ports as well. So it's a pretty well loaded board. Like I said, Maximum PC really liked the features of the board for the price. They thought it was a really good deal. And I thought, you know what, I'll do it. I'll pull the trigger on it and do it. All right, it's time to get this bad boy put into the case. So let's get the case up here. Now we want to make sure all the motherboard standoffs are in the right place. Make sure we get this fan cable out of the way. We don't want to pinch that. Just kind of hook it onto something and temporarily just to get it out of the way. And so what I want to do is you can pick up this whole motherboard by this heatsink now. And I just want to take a quick look. We've got 9 mounting holes, and we should have 9 standoffs. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So just the way the Corsair 200R comes out of the box is exactly what we need. So I'm going to just grab it by the heatsink, and then I'm going to lower it in on an angle, and it just barely fits in there. And I want to line up all these I/O ports right here with the I/O shield. Make sure that's all lined up correctly. You usually have to tilt the board with the I/O side in first, line it up, and then push it forward. And there's a little tiny, I don't know how well you can see that, but there's a little tiny post. One of the standoffs is a post. It's right there. It's really hard to see. And that post is going to hold the board into position for us while we tighten the screws down on the other standoffs. That little post is right there, if you can, I don't know if you can see it at all. Between the angle of the camera and this lip on the cooler, it's just right behind the M.2 drive. So I guess you can't really see it too well. But yeah, it's there. Anyway, that's really convenient that Corsair does that. It enables you to lock the board into position so it doesn't shift on you. And then looking at the screws that came with the case, I want to locate the coarse thread short screws. Those are going to hold the motherboard in for us. You don't have to tighten these down very tight. Pretty much turn them until they stop turning. I'm going to use my cordless driver. I do recommend you turn these by hand. These are the screws I'm going to use. We'll start over here. I just don't want to tighten them down yet. Let's get them all started. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That one's the post, so we skip it. Go to this one. 5. 6. Oops, I tightened that one all the way. Well, that's all right. There's one I can't really see, but maybe you guys will be able to see it. It's right back there. It's right here. And number 8. This is number 8. It's going to go very difficult place to see. That fan that I held out of the way, it fell. There we go. So 1, just going back and tightening them. 2, 3. The screwdriver has an auto off clutch. When it reaches a torque setting of 3, which is what I've set it to, it turns the screwdriver off. Don't slip, don't let your screwdriver slip and scratch your motherboard like I just did. and then 3 to go. That's it. Motherboard is mounted. You can see this, I have to get a taller tripod. This really gets in my way. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off and move it before I knock over a $1,000 camera. Let's just get this out of the way. Put it right over here, out of sight, out of mind. Okay. Pretty simple process so far, right, ladies and gentlemen? We've got our front port umbilicals. We can get these hooked up and out of the way. They're easy. Let's start with the switches. Let's turn this around the other way so you can watch. You voyeurs. You're all a bunch of voyeurs. Again, this system will be available for sale after the build. If anybody is interested in purchasing it, you must be in the United States. Other than that, you can send me an email, carey@tech-vets.com. And business inquiries only. Serious people only, please. Very busy, please respect. Trying to help a lot of people. Trying to help everybody. Where are my front port? Where's my front port header on this board? Should be right here. It says USB. That's audio. Did I leave my camera on? I heard a camera flip off. I wonder what that was. Everything looks good here. All right. Let me take a look at the manual, see where my front port head. I've never had to open a manual to find front port headers before. I see what happened. A plug became unplugged and it was running on batteries. All right, that should solve that. I heard it beep. I'm like, what's going on? What beeped? It sounded like a low battery warning, but that camera's plugged in. It's not on batteries. So yeah, it was the plug in the surge protector, for whatever reason, wasn't all the way in. Anyway, I was looking at the manual to figure out where the front port header is on this board. JFP1. Well, it looks exactly like a USB header, but where is it? JFP1. JFP1. Should be a big overview of the board. These instructions are really strange. They want you to scan QR codes with your phone to get detailed installation instructions, which is, I've never scanned a QR code in my life. That's because you're old. Yeah, well, keep talking like that, see if you get to be old. All right, JFP1. JFP1. Why did they make it look just like a USB header? Why did MSI do that? Okay, so there's a USB header here, a USB header here, and this looks exactly identical to the USB headers, but it's called JFP1. It even appears that you can plug a USB 2 right on that. That's a horrible, horrible design from MSI. I don't know what they were thinking. I've never seen a manufacturer be that I don't know the word I want to use. Hard-headed? I don't know. Shame on you, MSI. Shame on you. I hope this board is worth it. I really do. I hope Maximum PC was right and that this is a really good board, because the way it goes together is just leaving lots of options for a first-time builder to have a catastrophe on their hands. You definitely wouldn't want to be plugging a USB header in. You could destroy a flash drive or anything you plugged into USB if you plugged it into that with voltage. That would not be pretty. They should have added some pins. They should have done something. They should have changed the colors. That's just really a bad design. One of the worst I've ever seen. Now let's hope they didn't change the order. But usually the hard drive goes on these two pins. And the reset switch goes next to that. And then our power LED. Positive on the left, negative on the right. Place that exactly over the hard drive LED. Like so. And finally a power switch. Yeah, that's really weird place for those front port umbilicals to go on. You know, one of the great things about building with different parts is getting a different experience, you know. I've worked with enough Asus and Gigabyte boards, I can pretty much build them all blindfolded. But there's no way I could do this blindfolded. They really changed a lot here. I like that there's a USB 3 header that's sideways. That's kind of cool. It keeps for nice clean cable management. So we can plug that in. And then we have another one, a traditional USB 3 there for adding more USB 3, which is, that's a good design, you know, credit where credit is due. The whole thing's not terrible, but it's a high-end board and it should be very well thought out in its design, and I just don't believe that it is. And let's see, I got no room to run this audio cable anywhere because that PSU is so big. So that's our front port audio. And then let's get that plugged in. That's going to go right up here in this corner, which is where it pretty much goes on every motherboard. So thank you, MSI, for not trying to reinvent the wheel when it doesn't need to be reinvented. It's already been invented. Good. Let's get some cables out, hook some power up to this bad boy. Let's get this cable hooked up onto the cooler, which goes where now? Ah, it's going to go right. I need a flashlight. The flashlight's going to be my theme, I think. All right. Maybe this one will have batteries that work in it. Hey, look at me. Oh, Mr. Me sakes, look at me. I know you don't get a very good view, guys. I'm right in front of it and I don't have a good view. Here we go. So I'm just attaching that cable right there. Let's see, pump fan. Let's put this on pump fan. That sounds good to me. Pump fan right there. And then we just have to give it regular SATA power, which is going to be right next to the optical drive where we're going to run SATA power anyway, and then motherboard power, and then that's booted up. Let's boot it up. Boot it, baby. Give it a boot. Let's see, what do we got? PCI Express, no. PCI Express, no. SATA, yes. Another SATA, we don't need. CPU power, we need that. Shoot, where's the big fat one? Where's my fat one? There it is. All right. So I should only need 3 cables out of that bundle. Motherboard power, CPU power, and then just regular SATA power for the optical and for the cooler. Wire tie. Now, both ends are the same, right? No. One side splits in half, because some motherboards only require 4 pins, some require 8. But could you plug this end into the power supply and this end into the motherboard? Yes, you could. Would it make any difference? I mean, if you're doing it wrong is the way you like to do it, then you go right ahead. But it actually says CPU right on that side, and it says Type 4 on this side. Type 4 is the end that goes into the power supply. So we're going to plug this into the power supply right here, and it's going to go all the way at the end. Where do we put that? Yeah, it's going to go all the way to the end, just like this. We'll run this cable out through here. Run it up into here. Come on. Sometimes you gotta bend the metal back a little bit. Get in there. There's a tight fit. You can do it. Reach in there, grab that sucker, and motivate it. Let's go. Got things to do today. All right, finally. Right up in here, it's a tight fit. Oh, we can plug this. You know what? Let me get this fan cable out of my way. It's really annoying me on this build. Anytime I do a motherboard build that has a shield or a cover over the I/O, it does make working in this area very difficult once it's mounted in the case. So this rear case fan, I'm just going to plug that onto the fan header that's just above the M.2 drive. Once again, I apologize that you guys can't see a close-up of that, but you get the gist of where I just plugged that in, right? And then right up here is our 8-pin power connector. The clip is on the outside edge, which is, thank you, MSI, for doing that. Asus sometimes likes to flip it the other way, which makes it very, very difficult to get off. There's nothing worse than being very difficult to get off. Make your own jokes about that, I don't care. All right, now here is motherboard power. Come on now. Come on, thank you. Now, one end goes to the motherboard and the splits right there. That's the side that goes to the power supply. These are very unique sizes, and so there's only one place that that's going to fit on the back of the power supply. And that is just above where we plug the other cable in. Here's my flashlight. One goes here, one goes here. And you will hear them click once they're locked in. There we go. Give them a light tug. It ain't going anywhere. And then we're going to run this in the back because we want our cable management, you know, we want this to look pretty when we're done. We're not going to worry about refining it. We just want to get sort of the baseline of the cable management in there, and we can run that right there. And we're going to grab that, pull it through, line it up. Again, the clip goes to the outside edge, and then push it straight on. It should click, and you shouldn't be able to pull it off. That's good. Everything's good. Last cable, last one, and then we can test fire this bad boy. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, look at that. 4 SATA connectors. That's awesome. Thank you, Corsair, the RM850X. It's got a 6-pin connector, and it can go into any of the 6-pin holes on the back of this power supply. I'm going to try and keep everything as close together as I can. So the first 6-pin connector I've got is right here on the bottom. There it is, right there. And then we can run this out the back. Yeah. In there, yeah. Back in here, Slap it on, slap. Then I need power to my water pump. That's really, really important. Do not, that was easy for me to say. Do not turn your system on. I'm so anxious to get it fired up. I forgot to hook up my water pump. Actually, it'd probably be okay. It'll just overheat and throttle down. But just do it right, man. Just do it right. I'm done. That's it. We're built. Have a nice day. Bye, everybody. What, you don't believe me? Fine. I'll plug it in and show you. Everything was done right. Everything's good. Yeah, there's a SATA cable that needs to go to the DVD drive, but I'm not worried about that for right now. When I do a power on self-test, I don't need the DVD drive. Probably never will use it, but you guys exhaust me. All right, where's my HDMI cable now? What'd you do with it? Where did you put my HDMI cable? Mom, where's my HDMI cable? Isn't that what you would say? No, it's not under the sink. I already looked there. Seriously, where's my HDMI cable? Hello? Marco? Polo? I hear it. It's in here somewhere. Oh. How old are you again? This many. Okay. HDMI. Right there. We're going to run this to the capture card. I'm going to use your monitor, okay? You guys are going to be my monitor. What did I do with my wireless dongle? Did I leave it in the other machine I was just working on? I bet you I did. I do that. No, I took it out. Where did I put it? There's too much stuff in his house. Where's my dongle? Right here. I found my dongle. I found my dongle. All right, dongle's in. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you I can't hear you. No, seriously. It's nothing. You guys can't talk. You can type it in over there. Well, I guess it's over here, isn't it? I'm tired. I need a drink. Maybe if I slap things down hard enough. Is it gonna work? All right, guys, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna flip you over. That didn't sound right. Right here. Now, you should still be able to hear me okay. Yeah. You know what? You can get both views. Let's give you both. And let's turn it on. Hey, you're looking sexy tonight. No, that's not how you turn it on. That wasn't funny when you did it before, and it's not funny now. Ooh, I can hear that pump running. That fan will only spin when it needs to. Oh, did we boot? I guess we booted. Thomas Carter's contributed £5. He says, hi, Cary, I've been a fan since about 2010 when your videos helped me build my first PC. I've been building and servicing PCs ever since. I love it. You rock. You rock, Thomas. Thank you for the contribution. So the system has turned itself off, and now apparently every time you do your first boot, it's pretty common. Be patient. It'll come back on here in a minute. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, isn't that cute? Oh. Oh, apparently I've used this SSD in the past. I forgot it's got Windows 10 on it already. Well, this should be interesting. Will it boot? I think I installed it on a, whoa, look at that. That's weird. Look at that. Wow. I'd say that works. Would you agree? You should. I've got to move myself out of the way. I can't see. Let's put me over there. I hate this OneDrive nonsense. Time to go into MS config and turn that off. CPU Z. Smart screen. I can't see anything. Everything's so tiny on my side. CPU Z. Smart screen. Oh, I don't care. I guess that's the antivirus. Whatever. Whatever. Intel Core i7-8086k, baby. Ooh, did you see it hit 5,000 there for just a second? Caches, main board. Probably a BIOS update for this too. We're at 8.10 from 10/30/2017. That's almost a year ago. It's got to be a newer version than that. DDR4. We're in slots 2 and 4. I'm going to talk like this. Huh? Jealous? Are you jealous? You can buy it. You want to buy it? Let's run Crystal Disk Mark. I need to reinstall Windows. This is an install from the other build we were doing. But that's ADATA RAM and an ADATA SSD. ADATA should sponsor me. Don't you think you should sponsor me, ADATA? I think you should. Look at those read speeds, man. Whoa. That's like fast or something, dude. Yeah. All right, whatever. You know it's fast. I'm not going to sit here and sit through this. It's fast, okay? It's good enough. How fast is it? It's faster than you, so don't worry about it. Oh, God, I would love to say that sometime to a customer. Wouldn't that be, it would just feel good. Probably wouldn't be a customer anymore, but man, it would feel totally good. Totally. Totally. All right, let's do this benchmark on this built-in graphics. The AMD built-in graphics in the Ryzen chips is much better than the Intel built-in graphics, just so you know. I mean, I wouldn't really do any gaming on this without a discrete graphics card, but that's all this bad boy needs. How much money do I have in this? 150, 450, that's 600, 700, 750, 800, There's about, I want to say there's around 1,200 bucks in parts here. Unless I'm forgetting something. Throw a graphics card in there, you know, get yourself an RTX or whatever. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Good, reliable system, I hope, from MSI. Why is this taking so long? Could it be because I don't have all my drivers installed? This should have already been running by now. I didn't lock up. What is happening right now? I don't know. There's a new BIOS that came out last month. Yeah. Yeah, I probably should put that in there, huh? This never takes this long. Something's wrong. Something wrong. I mean, it closed out pretty good. Oil Rush, novel strategy game. Not interested. Just try it again. I mean, it renders the dragon, and then it just kind of sits for some reason. There it goes. That's faster. And then the demo should start, man. Come on, man. I got all day. Well, this is just disappointing. I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting on you. How's my device manager look? How's my hardware monitor? Let's run the hardware monitor. How are we doing on heat? Let's move that over there. Do I have Prime 95? I do. Let's run Prime 95. Let's crank all these cores to 100%. Just crank the crap out of it. See how hot it'll go. Thanks, Jimmy. Just step on my boxes, man. All right, I want to let that run for a few minutes, and then I'm going to talk to you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. What's on your mind? What do you want to know? If anybody wants to buy this system, it is for sale. So I will clean up the cable management, and I can customize it. So if you want to add more storage, if you want to change anything, I can change it to meet your needs. And you won't have to wait for it to be built because it's already built, so you get it really quickly. United States customers only need apply, and you can reach out to me, car-ey-lyst.com. Please do not email me with your technical support questions or for free advice. I do not do that. I do not have time. I used to do that before my channel grew as big as it did. Now it's just never ending. Please don't do that to me. If you like me, don't do that to me. Do I accept installments? Yeah, absolutely. If you want to pay me in installments, I will ship the computer when it's paid in full. No problem. What do you think about the Intel 9th Gen delayed? I have no reason to use an Intel 9th Gen chip. I didn't really have any use for a Threadripper other than to build it, you know, just because it'd be fun. But most people don't need more than 4 cores. Most people barely use 2. What the hell are you going to do with all those cores? Unless you have a very special application, you're just wasting your money. If you want to give that money to me, you can hit the donate button. It'll go to a better cause than having cores you'll never use. MSI's new BIOS version is A6. Okay, and I've got, what, A1 on there? Louise Meha says, I love that condescending tone. What does condescending mean? It means when you talk down to people. You see what I did there? I just talked down to you by explaining what condescending, never mind. This is funny stuff and you're not laughing at it. You should be laughing. That's comedy gold. Comedy gold wasted on you. I like cores. Well, you can like cores all you want. You're supposed to use them. If you're not using them, there's no point in having it. Right, Lyle? What's the point of having cookies if you're not eating the cookies, right? Ooh, those temps are climbing a little bit, aren't they? Hitting a max of 65 degrees Celsius. I can handle 65 degrees Celsius. I don't have a problem with that. Virtual machines demand more cores. This is true. However, most people do not run virtual machines. Most people don't even know what a virtual machine is. What's the matter? You guys want cookies? Everybody wants cookies now. Hold on. It's time to take a break for the dogs. The dogs say, what time is it? It's only 4 o'clock. It's not your dinner time yet, fuzzy boy. But let's exploit you to get more views, because everybody loves doggos. Everybody loves fluffies. Let's see if we can show everybody. All right, you want to show yourself off? You ham? You boys want cookies? Come here. There's one. Come here. Come here. See, dogs understand inference. Inference is when you point. Come here. And he's demonstrating. He's not interested until he says, show me the cookies. I am not moving a foot until you show me cookies. No cookies, no cooperation. All right. Oh, suddenly he understands. All of a sudden, isn't that magical? Give me that paw. I don't want that one. I want the other one. No, I changed my mind. Give me this one back. No, I want this one. Oh, for crying out loud, would you give me the damn cookie? All right. How about you, mister? You gonna give me a paw? That's a good boy, but I want the other one. Give me the other paw. No, I want this paw over here. Oh, you're gonna give me them both? All right, good deal. Look at that. That's a quick way to get some cheap likes on my video. Thumbs up that video. Thumbs up for the doggos. I might be a jerk, but my dogs are the best. Okay, let me grab another little 2 gig flash drive. Let's download the BIOS and flash this bad boy. You know what? I really don't have, in all seriousness, I don't have an issue with the strange idiosyncrasies of the installation of the MSI board. As long as the board proves to be reliable and performs well, then I'm okay with it, because I only have to deal with that during the install. Once the install's done, shouldn't have to do it again. But if the board proves to be unreliable and it makes me look bad to my customer, and on top of that I've got to take it all back apart and do it again, then it's not acceptable anymore. Oh, I want to plug this into the streamer so I can use the streaming computer to browse the web and download the latest firmware. So let's go to, let's see, where's my keyboard? It's all the way over here. So we want to type in, what is this? This is an MSI, sorry you guys can't see this, but I'm in a hurry. Z370 Gaming Pro Carbon BIOS. And And there's the first link from Google, is support for MSI gaming environment. BIOS is the first thing, version A6. Boy, it took me right to it. I do say I like MSI's website design better than Asus and Gigabyte. And thank you for the warning of cookies. Oh my God, you're going to put a cookie on my computer. Want me to give you my paw so I can have a cookie? Oh, they have a YouTube video on how to use M-Flash for BIOS. Interesting. That's a nice feature. Put me right out of business, you jerks. Download the BIOS. Boom, got the BIOS. Let's open that up. That's what I need. Extract it. Extract all. Extract. Open. Right click. Copy to the flash drive. Paste. Done. And then I'm going to eject the flash drive. Eject. Thank you. And now I'm going to remove the flash drive from the streaming computer. And I'm going to plug it in. Oh, right here is good. Yeah, I like that spot right there. That's the magic spot. All right, let me come around, all the way around. Long walk. Let's come back over here. And where's my other mouse? All right. Okay, go back to this system here. Sees the drive with the BIOS on it. How are my temps? Is that liquid cooler doing its job? Ooh, getting a little warm. I think the Hyper 212 Evo did a better job, honestly. Interesting. I might have to just make sure that thing is secured down. Those temps seem just a little bit high. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's stop this for a moment. Let's go to Prime 95 and put a stop so I can flash the BIOS, and then we can do this again. So let's stop the test, and then let's close that, and let's close this, and then let's restart. I don't know what key I have to press for BIOS flashing on MSI board. I know END is often used. Okay, let's see what happens here. Let's just hit delete. Delete, 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 delete. Entering setup, that's a good sign. Ooh, funky looking BIOS that is, huh? Wow, I'm completely lost. Advanced is F7. F12, I guess, takes a screenshot. That's kind of cool. I don't know where it puts it. M-Flash, that's what I want. You want to enter flash? Yes, I do. Well, why do you do that? Yeah, let's just wait and see what happens. Enter flash mode. Oh, found it automatically. Me likey. Yes. That's much newer. 7/9 of 2018 versus 10/30 of 2017. That's significantly different. I'm sure that CPU temperature down there on the bottom left is much more accurate, although it could have dropped from 80C to 40C within seconds after stopping Prime 95. So I'm fairly confident the cooler is in fact working. You could cook an egg on that CPU? Yeah, but it'd have to be a real tiny quail egg. Carrie looks tired. Carrie is tired. Are you an ADATA fanboy? Sure, yeah. Hello, my name is Carrie Holzman, and I'm an ADATA fanboy. Oh, did I offend you? Here we go. It looks the same. Control F5 to activate M-Flash. Well, I'll know that for next time. That's hokey. Oh, graphics look a lot better now, don't they? I don't think my driver had loaded properly before. Let's try Heaven Benchmark again, see if that made any difference at all. I don't think it will. That's not a good sign. Oh, that's what happens when you don't wait for the system to finish. Get out of here. Loading. Shouldn't take this long. This is not a clean install of Windows, by the way. This was installed from another motherboard, and so I imagine the issue I'm having I would not be having if I had done a fresh install with this fresh motherboard. One of the disadvantages of being lazy is working harder. I know there's an irony to that, but that just seems to be the way that it is. What happens if I hit F9? Will it run? No. Computer says no. Let's close that out. You know what? Never mind. I'm sorry I asked. Escape. Escape. Run away. Doesn't want to cooperate. The price just went down. No, I'm kidding. It's fine. I just need to reinstall Windows. Let me grab my Windows 10. I could fix it, but I don't want to waste my time. Because ultimately, even if I fix that, there may be something else from the carryover of the OS from one system to another. I forgot that I used that SSD in some testing, and I just didn't reset it. So let's just do a clean install. You guys like to watch that anyway, don't you? Sure you do. So let's get this flash drive out of here. Let's put this flash drive in. Let's turn it back on. And let's see, I don't know how to get into the boot menu on this. I wasn't paying attention to whatever the command was. So I'll just hit delete, entering setup. And somewhere in here should be boot options. CPU, memory, storage, flash, hardware monitor. Ooh, hardware monitor, what's that say? Oh. 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 You know, all you hypochondriacs are going to love that. I'm sure you could find something to worry about. Let's see, I don't want that. I don't want any of this. Let's get escape. Boot priority. Here we go. I want to boot to USB. Is there UEFI? Yeah, USB. Will you do that for me? Well, I guess I got to drag it over here. What if I just want to do it once? That's all right. I'm just going to do it this way for now because I'm lazy. Escape. No, I don't want to quit without saving. I want to save and quit. Where's my save and quit? It's not it. That's not it. Save and quit. Am I covering it up? Am I behind it? Let me move myself. Yeah, I look good right there. It's a new BIOS. I'm in it. Hey, what are you doing in here? You don't know what you're doing. Get the heck out of this BIOS. You're not supposed to be in here. Where are your credentials? Can you imagine if you opened your BIOS and you saw this? I want my money back. No. How come I don't have a save and exit? XMP can be turned on. Game boost? I don't even know what that is, but I'm going to turn it on. Do I just hit the X? Save and exit? Yes. Here we go. Well, that doesn't look like it booted to USB to me. Press F8 when booting for boot options. All right, let's try that next. Turn it back on. Press F8, 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 F8. F8, any day. No, F8 didn't work, guys. No worky. Anybody else have a guess? Maybe F12. Let me shut it back down. Maybe F12. Let's do F12. Turn it back on. Come on. Thank you. F12. Oh, F11 to run boot menu. It says it right there, F11. All right, reset. I'm just gonna hit reset because I'm just gonna wipe it anyway. All right, here we go, F11, here we go. F11, F11. Pressing F11. Ah, that's what I wanted. No, I don't want either of those options. Select a boot device. I don't want either of those. Maybe I don't have the USB flash drive plugged all the way in. Let's go right here. See if it likes that any better. F11, F11, pressing F11, pressing F11. Ah, that's better. Thank you very much for your cooperation. So now you're supposed to boot to the flash drive. Ah, better. Enter. Next. Install. Let's see how fast. I do not have a product key. What do you think? Windows 10 Home or Windows 10 Pro? Home or Pro? Home or Pro? Let's do Pro. No, let's do Home. Windows 10 Home. Next. Set the license terms. Next. Custom. Delete all these partitions. Off drive 0. Delete. Okay. Delete. Okay. Delete. Okay. Delete. Okay. Now we're back to a fully blank SSD. Hit next. And now we wait. And why did my air conditioner turn off? There's no way this house is cold enough. Oh, apparently it is. I'm just burning up. Is it hot in here or is it just me? It's just you. going through the change. Oops, pushed the wrong button. My bad. So tomorrow, I am getting a computer in from Louisiana for repair. That's the one I was telling you guys about that was due to arrive Thursday. FedEx sent me an update and said it'll be here, scheduled to be here on sometime tomorrow, hopefully early. I've got to be home to accept it. It's going to require a signature, as it should. You don't want to be leaving a $1,500 computer out, just abandoning it by a front door somewhere. And looking forward to diagnosing and repairing that one. And then I got to bring IL back. IL is the black gentleman that I had on the show a couple days ago, and we're going to have him build a computer. He's never built one before, and it should be fun. He's a really super nice guy, and I just need to find shorter guests. Darn, why do all of my guests have to be so darn tall? That's all I'm saying. Why? How come? Sebastian wants to know if I can build a computer with you. Sure, Sebastian. We just can work together on what parts, and then you can come over and we'll build it together. I'd love that. My email address is carey@tech-vets.com if you want to reach out to me. Remember that it's for business inquiries only, which means making a video, hiring me. If you're not looking to hire me or you're not looking to work with me, but you're looking for free advice or free technical support, please use the free technical support website, techguy.org, techguy.org, and they're happy to help you with any questions you have over there. And they have the time and the processes and the tools specifically for that purpose. And if you would do that, I sure would appreciate your consideration of my time. Let's see. Nick says, I am 64. Okay. Congratulations. Here we go, here we go. Fresh install, Windows 10, just that easy to install Windows 10. Nick says, I'm 6'4", not 64. Well, one day you could be 64 and 6'4". That's all I'm saying. I mean, it's possible. Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 6'4"? Is that how it goes? Oh, and there goes the copyright violation. I'm kidding. YouTube's not that aggressive yet. Not yet. United States? Yes. US? Yes. Skip. Skip. Let's just call this user. Skip. No. Off. off, 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 accept. Hello. Okay. Not on this rig, it's not going to take several minutes. You don't know me. I think I'm so tired, I'm just getting punch drunk at this point. Nice cold one here. Derek says, I built my own computer last year and it still runs great. Of course it does. You built it yourself. Who's going to do a better job than you? Seriously. Nobody's going to take as much care into the build process than you are with your own computer. And that's why it's going to be the best computer you ever owned. You'll see. Well, it's about time. It's almost there. Give me a break. Okay. Okay. All right. What do I want to do? I want to load some drivers, I guess, huh? Which means I need to hook that DVD drive up now. So let's get that SATA cable out of the box. Put that right up there. See how hard it was to install Windows 10? Oh, you better make a video showing how to do that. Oh my God, so complicated. Holy smokes. Better make it a 10-part video. All right, let's turn this off. Grab my cable, plug my cable in right here. And then I want to plug the other end in right here, right down here. I know you guys can't see much right now. That's why I'm narrating. Let's turn it back. Oh, let me take my USB Windows 10 install out. Boot that bad boy right back up. Geez, I can't even walk into the other room. The thing's already booted. Could you slow down a little bit? I'm not that fast. Where's my drivers? Where my driver at? No, no, yep, thank you. Eat that. Got a label or anything? No MSI Go Faster sticker in there? How quaint. All right, Intel chipset drivers, yes please. VGA driver, yes please. LAN and audio driver. Other driver, yes. Software, not so much. MSI wallpaper, all right, I'll take that. Supercharger, okay. Nothing else though. Install. All right, guys, we're just about done with today's build. Thank you for watching. We're 2 hours and 16 minutes into parts into a fully functioning computer. I want to remind you this computer is available for sale. If you're in Phoenix, obviously, that would be ideal. But if you're anywhere in the United States, it can be shipped. There's no discrete graphics. We can add anything you want to it. We can make any changes you want to make. and it could be all yours. I'm just honestly not looking to profit off of it. I just want to break even on my investment. I just wanted to make the video, and I just want to build a good machine to make a good video, and I don't need the machine, I only needed the video. So if I can break even on it, there's an additional cost to shipping it. Figure it costs around 125 to, I don't know, depending on how heavy it is and how far it's going to go. Figure 125 bucks for shipping. I can give you an exact, I can show you the receipts. You'll pay me, if nothing else, just pay me what I paid for it. I'm happy. I'd like to see it gone as soon as possible so I can use that money to buy more parts and make another computer and then do the same thing again and try and see if this is sustainable, if there's enough people out there that are interested. And then that way I can make videos of machines that I want to build, and people that want to buy them don't have to wait months for me to get around to the building process. You can have it pretty well, instantly. I mean, apart from shipping times and delivery times for any parts you want to swap out or change, to custom configure it. But if you like it the way it is, apart from the cable management that has to be done and some software configuration here, it's available for sale. So you can reach me at car-ey-lyst.com. Remember, that's for serious business inquiries only. Please do not use that email address for asking me technical support questions or asking me for advice unless you are a paid customer. If you're a paid customer, you can ask me all the questions and ask me all the advice that you want, because that's part of being my customer. Anybody have any questions in the chat that I can answer for you while we're waiting for this? Am I going to do a video on Instant House Call? Yes. Corey Fruitman, who is the owner of Instant House Call, the business, is flying out from Toronto on September 4th. And I think we're going to do the video on September 5th. I think he's going to stay with me here in the house. Corey and I are good friends. So if he wants to stay here, he's welcome to stay here. And we will do a live video. We'll take your questions. We'll demonstrate how Instant House Call works. We'll talk about the pricing of Instant House Call, and then talk about the features of Instant House Call, what you can do with it. Because, for me, I just need a remote piece of software where I can log into computers unattended after business hours. And Instant House Call in previous generations was really more of an on-demand service where you needed somebody at the other end to let you in. But he's obviously evolving the software and adding more bells, whistles, and features. He tells me now that that can be done, and I'm anxiously looking for anybody to replace TeamViewer at this point. TeamViewer's just got on my nerves. They have such a good product and such a terrible marketing company. They're so awful. But gosh darn it, the product just does what I need it to do, which my needs are very simple. And as such, we're going to talk about not just my needs, but everything that Instant House Call can do, because many of the features of Instant House Call are provided as a direct result of people asking for them. Try and get TeamViewer to do that. You can literally talk to Corey and say, I'd really like it if the software could do X, Y, Z, and he can add it as a feature, and often does. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the interview with Corey. I still have to edit the interview with Rick Miller from Kids at Hope. It was a great interview. If you've been following the last few days, myself here on YouTube, I've been mostly here on YouTube, and I can't be here and editing at the same time. And then I still have to bring HipTech, his computer. I've got to bring that back to him. He's across town. And then I've got the computer arriving tomorrow via FedEx that needs to be repaired. And then I'm going to build a computer with IL. So all that, well, the computer with IL, maybe I can get that done tomorrow. I don't know yet. I don't know. Is today Tuesday or Wednesday? Today's Tuesday, right? I work every day. Every single day I work. So it's hard for me to know what day of the week it is sometimes. It's sort of the downside of being self-employed is you never get to clock out. I have to learn how to clock out. Carrie, the top camera is in 90-degree angle view for us. When you have time or before you start your stream, can you rotate the view in OBS 90 degrees? Well, if I rotate the view 90 degrees, then your screen will be long and skinny because it's a 9:16 screen. It'll look like a smartphone. I think you don't need to see it from my perspective. I think you're fine. Something's wrong with Instant House Call's website. I don't know anything about it, but you know, when Corey's here, you guys can ask Corey directly what's going on. I'm sure he can explain it to you. Sebastian's telling me about delidding, and obviously, Sebastian, you've not watched my videos about CPUs. I've already covered this subject in detail, and I got news for you, Sebastian. If you delid a processor, I don't consider you to be a very, I don't want to say smart person. You have more money and time than I do. No business will ever pay you to delid their processors. It is risky, and it's very time consuming, and it's really not a practical thing to do. It's really not practical. But I have covered this in depth a couple of years ago, and you should definitely watch my video library on this. Yeah, I don't know why the audio drivers are so big. That's weird. But who cares? What do you think about fiber internet? Fiber is good for you. You should have as much fiber as possible. Looks like Colin Hilton has taken off. Hey, Colin, thank you, and always good to see you here in the chat. Joe says, this day was a great live stream day. I think it was too. Thank you, Joe. You obviously have excellent taste in YouTube videos. Carrie, do you consider Ryzen better than Intel CPUs? Okay. Somebody has not been watching my videos. There's no such thing as better. Which is better, chicken wings or T-bone steak? If you ask a vegetarian, neither option is good. If you ask somebody who enjoys T-bone steak more than they enjoy chicken wings, they're going to tell you what they enjoy. See, better is a perspective. It's nothing that is universally accepted by anybody but you. There is no such thing as better, except as it applies to you and only you. Understand? Now, if you want to know what's better for this certain application running at these settings with this budget, then I can tell you what's better to meet those requirements. But just overall and in general, there is no such thing as better. Sorry, it's just not possible to make that kind of claim. And the fact that people do it all the time on the internet sickens me. You got to know better. You've got to know better. Nobody can tell you what you like. Nobody can tell you what's better for you. They can only tell you what's better for them. And that goes for anything. Keyboards, mice, televisions, chairs, couches, sofa, bed, sheets, clothes. What's better, Levi's or Wrangler? What's better, Hanes underwear? Which one do you like? That's the better one. I meant dollar per performance. It depends what you're expecting to use the chip for. Performance results in the software that you're using and how you use it. If you're using video editing software, which video editing software? At what resolution? When what kind of videos? 4K videos, 3D videos, 360 videos? What length of videos? Hour and a half, 2 hour long videos in 4K and 360? You know, which software? Adobe? What you need to do is you look at the software you're using and the version and the settings that you want to set it at. Go to the forums for that software and look and see what other people are using and what they like and what they don't like. And if that's the most important piece of software, then you build your system based on that. That's all there is to it. There's no best. There's no other than in those, you know, all of those minute conditions where you isolate down budget and need and the way you're going to use it. So there's just no one size fits all. So you can ask and rephrase your question 18 different ways. You're still going to get the same answer from me. I guess that's my MSI wallpaper, huh? Okay, totally worth it. Let's take a look. Do I have the Heaven benchmark software on here? Let's test these front port USBs and see if they work. Of course, I'm in my own way here, so let me just move my, oops, wrong one, Carrie. Wrong one. Let's move me over here. Okay, open the folder. Okay, now I'm in the way again. Move me back. Okay, somewhere in here. The screen's too small. It's the PC testing software. Heaven benchmark. I know we need to install these first. Okay, then we'll do this one. Okay. And then we do this one. Finish. Is it going to run this time? Let's see. See if I have any better luck. Run! Run, damn you! Run, Forrest! Well, that's not a good start. Wow, I wonder how many frames per second I'm getting on that. What the heck? That ain't right. That is definitely not right. All right. That is the best benchmark I've ever seen. Hello? Can I hit escape? Can I get out of this? What can I do? It did not like that at all, did it? I think I've upset it. Let's do Control-Alt-Delete. Go to the task manager. And let's try running it again. Really? Really? Control-Alt-Delete. I can Control-Alt-Delete all day, man. Don't bother me none. Let's close that out. Let's close that out. Let's reboot. I don't know, I'm missing something. I must be tired. I'm going to reboot one more time. I might be in the, you know, I've got the gaming mode enabled on the BIOS. That might be part of my issue. I don't know what that does. I just turned it on because I could, just to see what would happen. Let's try this again. You going to run this time? Apparently not. Very strange. It's no likey. We'll get rid of that people button. Let's see, DirectX 11, quality, let's put it on medium. Take full screen off. That's better. Be nice if it would actually run for once though. Oh, that's good. Will it finish loading now that I have a clean install of, oh, it does. And let's run F9, start the benchmark. The Intel, the built-in graphics on the chip are not, well, I'll let it speak for itself. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna let you guys watch that with awe. Once again, if you have any questions for me in the chat room, you have my attention. Even though I'm walking into the other room, by the time you hear this, I will already be back in. What'd I do, put my Gatorade away? Once again, if you have any questions, this will be the time to ask. I will be wrapping up the stream here very shortly, so whatever you want to know, tech-wise, ask away. Paul says, I think it needs a separate graphics card. Yeah, we can add a discrete graphics card if it's going to be used for gaming. You don't have to use this computer for gaming. In a business environment, this computer runs just fine. You could have Word and Excel and PowerPoint and browsers, numerous tabs open, multiple monitors. So the internal graphics is fine for business use. But if you want a game, you definitely want to add a graphics card to it. Really no problem at all. I mean, after all, if Intel could build built-in graphics, why would NVIDIA or AMD even bother making graphics cards? But honestly, this whole system costs less than a GTX 2080, so think about that. I'm sorry, RTX 2080, oh my God. Really quick, guys, come on, any questions? There's 629 people. You're telling me 629 people don't have a question for me? Seriously. Find that very difficult to believe. Have you heard anything about Windows 12 coming out in the next 2 years? Nope, but you have a really unique imagination, so you keep going with that. We just bought 4,000 Asus boards and none of them were bad. I believe that. I thought i7s didn't use integrated graphics anymore. Well, what are you looking at? How do you explain your eyes? 400 Asus boards, not 4,000. Either way. What's my opinion on this MSI motherboard? I haven't had it long enough to really form an opinion other than It looks pretty. What is the sole purpose of the I/O shield and how important is it? Its purpose is to keep things out. So the I/O shield is there to keep bugs and small children's fingers and pieces of metal from jabbing inside and shorting out the electronics, or to be sticking your fingers in there and be electrocuted. It is there also for aesthetics, so it looks pretty. Do you feel the 5 gigahertz on one core? Is the 8086K worth the price increase over the 8700K? I don't know. Are the mild chicken wings that much hotter than the medium, or cooler than the mild, or the medium and the hot? It's a very personal thing that only applies to you, so I cannot answer questions like that. I don't know what you like, I don't know how you use your computer, and I don't know if you're going to feel it faster or not. You will just have to use one. Nobody can tell you how you feel. How did the quality of the motherboard feel in your hands versus Gigabyte? It felt no different. Have you started recommending Ryzen to your business customers yet? All of my business customers are loyal to Intel. They do not have any interest in anything from AMD, despite my telling them that one particular customer that they should at least try it. They have no interest, none whatsoever. They like Intel, they have a history with Intel, they have a loyalty to Intel, even though Intel probably doesn't have a loyalty to them. And they stick with what they know. They don't want to experiment. They don't want to toy around it. It's not worth the savings of a few dollars to experiment. Clients are very serious. Business is very serious. And, you know, lots and lots of money is at stake. And they just are not interested in jeopardizing that. So I get it. It's fine. Can't see my mouse. There we are. Yeah, that wallpaper is a little annoying, isn't it? I don't like that one either. There I am, scuba diving. Yeah, I wish. Probably nothing much here for wallpaper, is there? Just go with the default, I guess. Okay. Alrighty. All right, guys, I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up. Like I said, I've got some cable management to handle there. I think the cooler could be better. It's not bad. It's very different. What brand of NVMe drive do you recommend? It depends on your budget, your use, what size you're looking for, and how you're intending to use it. In general, I like Samsung, I like SanDisk, I like Intel, I like ADATA. You know, if you want the fastest one, you want the Samsung. If you want the best bang for the buck, you want the ADATA. But if you have a very limited budget, then you want the Intel 660p, which is slower than any other NVMe drive, but still faster and the same price as the same capacity SATA drive. So why not get a little extra performance if your board can support it? But it just depends on budget, needs, expectations. So stick with a popular, well-named company with good reviews, and you're fine. What is my favorite Windows OS? Windows 10. Other questions? Have I ever had a CPU melt into the socket? Nope. I've seen CPUs get so hot. Some AMD Athlon chips have gotten so hot they've cracked in half, but nothing where it's melted into the socket now. Mark's brother 715 says, thank you always for all the hardware. All right, well, thank you. Can you check Prime 95 again? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's take a look at that. Let's, I already have the flash drive in there. So let's bring over, shoot, I've got to go full screen to see this. 16 gig drive, there it is. So let's grab that. Let's put that over here. Let's put that over here. Let's put that over here. Put that over here. Put that over here. Okay, you got Prime 95 running there, and then let's pull up the hardware monitor. Give it a minute. There it goes. Other questions? You should sell flash drives with all the free tools. That's a great way to get yourself in legal trouble. Rich says it would be cool to see you cook something on top of a CPU. I'll tell you what, Rich, I'll cook it on top of a CPU if you eat it. How about that deal? I gotta restart before I can reuse the software? Fine, let's restart. All right, let that restart. Stress test. CPU and memory. And let's do the ground. Let's do it all. Boom. Oh yeah, not connected to the internet. Dope! Well, that ain't gonna happen, is it? Oh well. It's a nice thought. We'll revisit that later. Oops. Back. You go back right there. Stay. Reed Thompson says, I love your stream, Carrie. Thank you, Reed. Does the board lose a PCIe slot if you use an NVMe drive? There's no such thing. There's no board that exists that does that. If you guys want to contribute to the channel, all the money that's donated goes right back into the channel. It goes back into buying parts or to buying camera equipment. And if you want to contribute, if you want to show appreciation and you want to see more videos, then encourage me. No amount is too small. You can send that using the donate button at tech-vets.com. There's also a link in the video description below this video. And when the video is made public after it's live, while YouTube is processing it, I will do the research required to put all the parts listing, so you have the motherboard link, CPU link, the cooler link, the case link, the power supply link, the DVD link, what else? The ADATA SSD link and the ADATA RAM, all that will be in the video description during YouTube processing. So if you watch this video later on, at any point in the future, today is, what I say today was August 28th, 2018. So anytime after that, you can expect those links to be in the description below the video for eternity. What else did I want to tell you? Yes, everybody who has contributed both in participating in the chat as well as participating financially and submitting donations, thank you so much for your contributions. Thank you so much for your participation. I'm very fortunate and very grateful to have such wonderful viewers. And you know, I do sometimes allow myself to get distracted by a little troll here or there. I'm human, what are you gonna do? But thank you guys for sticking around, and for the moderators that are squashing the trolls before they distract me, I really appreciate that very much. So if that's it, I guess we're gonna wrap it up. Am I still doing Tech Vets podcast? Mike Smith and I are very, very busy, and it's just a matter of getting time together, but yes. In the chat room, Dave Bell is saying, and I want you to listen very closely to what Dave Bell is saying, because he didn't listen closely to me, and I don't want you to be like Dave Bell. Dave Bell says, you are wrong. Some boards will lose SATA connectors if M.2 drives are used. He didn't ask me about M.2 SATA drives. He asked me about M.2 NVMe drives, and I do not appreciate correcting me or trying to publicly humiliate me on my own channel. It's very disrespectful, and you're wrong. If you pay attention, what I said was there's no NVMe drives. This isn't a correct, to the direct answer to the question regarding NVMe drives. We weren't talking about SATA M.2. We were talking about NVMe M.2. And there's a big, big difference between how the system operates and treats those two different devices. And I've got a video called M2 NVMe versus, or M.2 versus NVMe, even though they're both M.2, but that's the way people ask the question who don't know. And you might want to watch that and pay attention to the details. You know, with computers, it's all about the details. It's about dotting those I's and crossing those T's, or you end up talking about something nobody else is talking about, or misinterpreting the information that's given to you. I've been in business a very long time. You got to ask yourself, did I think Carrie said something that he wouldn't have said? Would somebody with 30 years experience say that? Or did I misinterpret? You really need to learn. Society is really not giving people the benefit of the doubt anymore. Everybody's quick to demonize and judge. It's just very disrespectful to do that in my channel. I don't appreciate it. Now, if you want to ask questions, that's always welcome. If you want to say, well, what if it's an M.2 SATA? Then I will be happy to address that and say, yes, using an M.2 SATA will disable one of the SATA ports. But don't make bold statements like that. So, yeah. M.2 NVMe doesn't disable any SATA ports. M.2 SATA does. Even though they're both M.2, they're completely different interfaces. So, do your homework, people. Stop embarrassing yourselves. Always ask questions before making statements. You should ask more questions. Efian Davy says, good night, Carrie. Good night. Velishjov Ivanov says, did you do a mini ITX build? Yes, I've done several. You can look back through my library. Reverend John O'Toole says, I wish you well. Have a pleasant night. Thank you, Reverend John O'Toole. You do as well. Nick Poverman says, thanks again for the work you do. Well, thank you, Nick. Thanks for watching. For all my moderators, thanks, you guys. You guys do an awesome job. I love you guys. You're the best. You're the best. You guys rock. Seriously. Where am I at on subscribers anyway? Where am I at today? Let's see. What does it say? 199,317. So only about 50 subscribers over the last day. It's very disappointing. But that's all right. That's all right. It's not really a measure of success. Total video views is more important to me than the number of subscribers. So thank you guys so much. Jose and Veronica Lopez say buenas noches. Buenas noches, Gary. Nick wants to see another cooking video. Ben DeCure, good to see you. Elez Tepej says, thank you, Carrie. I wish I knew how to pronounce your name. Mike Ladd says, later, see you next time. Thomas Carter says, thanks for another great stream. I'm going to head off for the night. It's late here in the UK. Yeah, I need to eat dinner, and it's the dog's dinner time, too. Hey, are you guys hungry? Here they come. Yeah. Oh, listen to you. What? You're hungry? Are you guys hungry? You want some food? Is it time for your dinner? Yeah, apparently it is. It's dinner time. All right, guys. Like I said, I've got a PC to repair. I hope it arrives early enough tomorrow that I can bring it in and start right away. And thank you so much for joining, and I hope you enjoyed both the live streams today, both the live repair and the live build. If you're interested in the build, drop me an email. We'll work it out. In the meantime, I'll see you all again very, very soon. Until then, bye for now.